Very special announcement at Hillwood High School. First of all, thank you to our news outlets, to the Bellevue Chamber for coming today, to our own Topper News Network. We have our in-house production. Mr. Beauclair, thank you for coming as well. So, my name is Steve Schaefer. I'm the executive principal here at Hillwood. First year on the job. And when I started, I knew we had a fantastic football coach in place in Kurt Page. We had a very exciting season. We had record crowds at the gate and had a lot of momentum. Unfortunately, Coach Page decided he wants to get into what I do, which is administration. So he's leaving us. And so when that happened, we had to be really strategic about who the next guy to lead this program was going to be. And so Coach Sparkman, in just a minute, we'll talk about that. But just a little bit of history about Hillwood. It's been here since the 50s. Some exciting times right now because in the next 2 to 3 years, we will relocate back to the Bellevue area. So in 1981, I know Bellevue High closed. I've learned my West Nashville history. They brought schools together here at Hillwood, and the Bellevue community has missed hosting a school out in that part of town. So within the next 2 or 3 years, we are excited to join that community. So part of the coaching search involved is who was the guy that really wanted to lead this program through that transition? Who was the guy that connect with this West Nashville community? And when we identified some candidates, that was fresh in our mind, and there's no doubt the guy that we selected has those roots in West Nashville. But we're excited you're here. We're excited that there's so much interest in this football program. I think it has potential to be the best job in town, and that's how I'm treating it. I know that's how our candidates treated it. It's a fantastic place to be, and it's a fantastic time to work at Hillwood. I'd like to introduce Mr. Ron Sparkman. He is our athletic director. He's going to talk to you a little bit about how the search, and then we'll get to our coach.
Good afternoon, and once again, as Dr. Schaefer said, thank you to the media outlets and the Chamber for coming to this event. This is something we've put a lot of time in since Coach Page made his announcement that he was going to step down as our head football coach. And with the transition to the new high school, as Dr. Schaefer mentioned, happening in the next couple of years, we really wanted to do this right and take our time, look at as many resumes as possible. I personally have received over 80 resumes concerning the head football job from about 12 different states. I have former NFL players that have applied for the job, current college coaches, former college coaches, current high school coaches, people with no coaching background. I even had one person who was a retired one-star general out of the Army applied for the job. And so it has generated a lot of interest, and so we went through a very lengthy process of combing through resumes and talking to people. We pulled in we narrowed it down to 6 finalists that we talked to over the course of about a week, and then further conversations, and all 6 candidates were extremely qualified for the job, and they all could have been named the head coach. But in the end, we come back down to, we know we're going back to Bellevue, and we want to do what's right for the Bellevue community, and Coach Moore and his history with the Bellevue community, and his dad was a big name in high school athletics in Nashville and also at Cumberland University. So we decided that he would be the best fit for the new high school moving forward, and we are extremely pleased and looking forward to his tenure at Bellevue, at Hillwood, and whatever we choose to name the new high school, which is still up in the air, but we will be moving to Bellevue. So with that being said, Coach Moore, welcome to Hillwood High School. We're all excited about next year and in the future, so we'll let Coach Moore make some comments, and if you have some questions for him in just a minute, or for any of us, we'd be glad to answer them. Coach Moore.
Thank you. First thing, I've got a number of people to thank. I'm going to leave some people out, but especially wanted to thank Dr. Schaefer, Mr. Sparkman, and Roosevelt Sanders. Those are the people that were involved in the interview process, and I'm very grateful to have this opportunity. Grateful, and humble. Those were 2 things that came to mind when I was driving over here. I was just knowing how many people were interested in this job, that realize what a great job this is and can be moving forward, and that I'm going to have this opportunity. One thing when I went in for the interview, I wanted this job. It was important to me, and it's the only job I applied for. I have a job currently, or had one, and this is what I wanted to do. And I think sometimes when you have that emotion, people can see that and sense that if you really want something. I owned a business for a few years, and that's the number one reason I would hire somebody is if I felt like they really wanted the job, because they were going to be serious about it. And I'm super grateful, super excited about this. Excited. I'm beyond excited. It's something I have a tremendous amount of energy right now, and just about all the things that need to be done, and all the things, the opportunity that presents itself here. From talking to middle school kids, to meeting the parents, to meeting the team, which I'm going to be able to do today, to becoming part of the school, to being a leader in the school. I'm just very excited to do that. Something I've always liked to do, and I kind of got this from my dad, I guess, because my dad started a number of programs. He started the Glencliff program, and then he started the Stratford program after that. Then he was instrumental in starting the Beach program, and then restarted the Cumberland program after it was not, they didn't have a team for a long time. It's just, that's kind of, I guess, in my DNA. I'm just excited to do this. I was an assistant coach at NBA. And I came over there in 1994, and Coach Bowers was the head coach, and we were classmates before that. But I felt like that was the time that we really got good and kind of took it to the next level over there, and it was really fun to do that. And that's kind of how I feel about what we have over here. I think we're on the brink of something big over here, just for the what we already have here at Hillwood, but also what we could have in the future. Feels like home. I grew up in the off Vaughn's Gap, and I rode my bike up and down Davidson Road. My best friend lived over here. My mom lives out in Bellevue now. I probably played hundreds of games out at, played baseball games out at Bellevue. I ran on this track at Hillwood, played baseball games here, played basketball games against Hillwood, but was over here all the time. I know all the streets, and it just feels like home. It feels great. Also want to say something about Bellevue, and Dr. Schaefer and Mr. Sparkman mentioned that, but what a great opportunity to reconnect with Bellevue. Bellevue's a phenomenal community. My dad always said if they ever put a high school back in Bellevue, it's going to be the best job in the city. It's going to be the best school in the city. And it's just a great opportunity. The people there just have a great loyalty and affinity for Bellevue and what is Bellevue, and they've supported Hillwood over the years. And I think we just have a chance to hit a home run with the Bellevue community. We have some members of the Chamber of Commerce here that wanted to come support us, and are very excited to work with you guys. A couple of things I wanted to talk about what my expectations are, what my hopes are for our team, and some things that I would like to see us do here. The number one thing, I think more than anything else, and rather than list 10 or 15 things, I want to just list a couple of things. And one is I want to make our people proud when they see our football team. I want our team to hustle. I want us to be on and off the field, and I want them to feel good about what we're doing. I want us to have great sportsmanship. I want our kids to conduct themselves around school in a gentlemanly manner. I was just in the office, and I saw four. They probably didn't know I was there, but I saw 4 or 5 of the boys come in. They were super respectful to people in there. That's the kind of thing that I think we have been doing and would want to continue. That's really important to me. Of course, we want to win games, but I think sometimes if you place too much emphasis on winning the next game rather than building the program, you'll look up and you don't really have anything. So the building blocks for the program are very important. Want to create a phenomenal environment with the team, an environment that where people want to send their kids, where they want their kids to be part of that program. I want the Hillwood football program to be the best program in the school, to be a great program, to be a great organization. That's what people want. If you have a poor organization, people aren't going to want to join it, and they're going to want to go other places to find great organizations. But if you have a great organization where people care about each other, where they treat each other with respect, where they're trying to move forward, people will want to join that organization. And that's my goal for continuing what's been done, but also to move forward positively. And really the last thing about the program, I just want to have a positive aura. I want us to be positive about what we're doing, positive about how we coach, positive about how we treat each other, positive about where we're going. So those are kind of the expectations that I had. In some ways, not in some ways, this is how I feel. I've never been more prepared for a job in my life than I am right now for this job. I feel like it's the right time for me in my life. I think the experience that I've gained is going to. I'm ready to do this job, and I've never been more excited or happier to have a job and to do the things we're going to try to do. Pressure. That's one thing I wrote down. What kind of pressure? I thought somebody might have a question about that, but I'm the kind of person that, I'm a pretty hard self-evaluator, and the person who's going to put the most pressure on me is probably going to be myself. But I certainly feel some pressure to do a great job and do all these things I'm talking about. And some of that is winning, but there's some other parts of it is these other things that I mentioned about, doing the things about having teaching our kids winning habits, okay, and getting them to be proud to be part of a great organization. I guess the last thing I'll say if anyone wants to ask a question would be, just want to let everybody know, and I'm going to tell the team this. I'm not going to make many promises, but I will promise one thing, that I'm going to give Hillwood, I'm going to give these boys everything I have, and hopefully I think they'll recognize that and want to give us everything they have. Okay. Well, that's it. That's all I have. But I think you guys can see I am excited and about taking this job, and very excited about where I think we can go. If anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to answer some questions.
You did a good job answering all the questions they
so.
would have had. But I just want to also kind of make just one or two brief remarks. Tom hit the nail on the head. I mean, I think we interviewed. Any given year, any of the 6 guys we've interviewed would have been our #1 choice. It was, I think Kurt Page has a lot to do with the candidates that we had in our building, because he helped reshape Hillwood as a job that people would want, and kids were excited, the performance on the field. And so when we got the 6 candidates that we narrowed down to, any one of them really could have had this job. But what set Tom apart was he wanted this job. He wanted to be in West Nashville. He wanted to reshape this program as we move out to the Bellevue community, and I think it is kind of coming full circle. I got to know Tom a little bit, know his background with several of the private schools, also spent time at Warren County in a public environment, so he can really bridge the gap. We're bridging really 2 or 3 communities. We have a lot of families that come from North Nashville. We have some families that come from right in the direct area, and then a lot in Bellevue. I just think that his talent can bridge those different communities and put the best product on the field. And he's a great mentor for young people, and that's the other thing that was very exciting for us. So other than that, like I said, anything else that you want to ask, we're here, and I know Tom will do some one-on-one interviews with anybody that would like that before you all have to go. All right, perfect.
And one of the things I think, just getting in touch with the kids who are looking to come to this school is so important. I'm actually going to go out and watch the Bellevue Middle play basketball on Thursday night. After I think we get to meet with the parents here, and just the more that's something that has to be done. I know it's been done, but something that's super important to let people know what we're trying to do here at Hillwood. Something super high on my list is we've got to be able to keep the kids who are zoned for us, because that's something that I think is paramount for us being successful.
All right, very good. I think they want to ask you more questions one-on-one, so go for it. Thank you all very much.